This is a vending machine, which is an example of a mechanical process. When you feed the system money,
Computational mechanical. Yeah, that one will be format. Yeah.
when you feed the system money, it allows you to input a code here, which will send the system instructions on which item to dispense from the inside, and that will rotate these little spirals inside the machine and dispense your item out here as your output. A toilet is another example of a unit operation. This is a fluid process where you have the toilet bowl that has water in there to a certain level, and then back behind the toilet, it's kind of hard to see, there's tubing that goes from the drain of the bowl and it loops down and makes a U-turn up. So the level of water in the tubing lines up with the level of water in the bowl, so they're at the same height. So when you flush a toilet, you can't see the reservoir of water here, but it'll flood the bowl with water, which will cause the level inside the U-turn inside the piping to raise. And once that fills up, it'll create a siphon, which will flood all the water down until water from the reservoir stops being poured into the toilet bowl. And once the water is stopped poured, the siphon effect will stop, and the water will slowly fill up in the toilet bowl until it is back at its original level, just like this. So the water is coming down from that reservoir and filling the toilet back up slowly now. My final example of a unit operation is a refrigerator. This is a fluid process with a lot of heat transfer involved. So when you look inside a refrigerator, you can't see it, but there's a lot of coils hidden called evaporation coils inside, and they contain a fluid called a refrigerant, and that refrigerant flows through the coils on the inside of the refrigerator and absorbs any heat of the air inside and heat of the items inside the refrigerator. And that fluid comes out here to the back to this called a compressor, and that compressor takes the fluid refrigerant, turns it into a high pressure gas, which travels up coils in the back here and loses heat to the surrounding air outside and goes to this device in here that you can't see called a thermal expansion valve, and that will control the amount of liquid refrigerant that goes back into the fridge after it loses its heat and turns back into a liquid. And that liquid will go back in and it'll repeat the process and cool your food.